Don't worry, we are with you. You will not walk alone. One thing I can show you is this. Do you want Edo back? Yeah! As the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I will give Edo back to you.
My people, my name is Biafra Superstars Media. Today, I wish to speak to the people of Edo State, the old Edo State, the Biafrans living around Edo State. Today, I want you all to know that Edo State is gone, but your only saving grace is that Biafra is coming to the rescue. To the naysayers in Edo State who believe in the election, the charade they call the election, a so-called political exercise where those with the highest bidder gets the vote of the impoverished citizens who cannot fend for themselves, who are going through hell, who are going through abject poverty, and the only time they could have a free meal or a free ticket to feed themselves and their family is when the politicians of that zoo come around with what they call the Ghana Must Go bag filled with stolen wealth and being shared to the people to commit a heinous crime of soliciting for their vote. So at the same time, you are in a catch-22 situation, because if you are able to sell your vote, then you should be able to face the consequences that comes your way for selling your vote to the wrong person, to a criminal, and to the wrong candidate. But today I am not here to speak about the ills of that zoo republic. Today I am here to present to you a man I love, a man I appreciate, a man who is a Biafran, a man who was born during the time of the Biafran War, a man who went through hardship for 3 years as a child during the Biafran War. A man who was not spared by Kwashoko during the time of the starvation, the food blockade that was met on my people, the Biafrans, during the genocide, or perhaps something they call the Biafran War. Without any much further ado, I wish to present to you the Biafran golden child, a child born out of necessity, a child born at a time when his motherland, his fatherland was pillaged, a child who saw first a first-hand account of his mother being killed by the Nigerian evil military Janjaweed. A child who saw what happened to the youths of those days. A child who saw the way Britain colluded with the caliphate to create and commit a genocide in his motherland, Biafra. Today, he will speak from the perspective of somebody who lives in that zoo republic. Today, he will speak as the way you expect those you call your journalists in that zoo to speak. So today, I want to call on Rufai Oseni to take a seat, take his paper and pen, and take down notes on how we expect him to speak when he's laying out his own perspective in that so-called Nigeria. Today, our brother, the Biafran golden child, will speak on NNAMDI KANU. The advice he gave to them, all he said that came to pass, the prophecy, as they want to say. He will speak to the good people of Edo State. He will tell you to cry no more, because hope cometh in the morning. He will expose the charade that they call election in Nigeria, and he will shed more light on the advent of Biafra, how the coming of Biafra from the 2nd of December will help to uplift the spirit and save the people of Edo State in proxy. Without any much further ado, my people, I present to you the Biafran golden child, the real Biafran golden child. Thank you. Good morning, everyone.
I hope you guys are doing great. I hope you're doing well. Yes, because I have to say this, because in recent times, a lot of people, when you ask them how they're doing, you hope they're doing great. They have answered in the negative. Yeah, I know a lot of people have met. Oh, bro, how you doing? Sis, how are you? Hope you're doing great. You and your kids are doing great. And they look at you as if you just fell from Mars. They look at you as if you don't belong here. I mean, for crying out loud, they reckon you should know that nothing good is happening in Nigeria. I mean, nothing great is happening. A lot of them are looking at you and wondering, what is the great thing or the good thing you want to tell me about? I mean, that is happening that you want me to be cheerful about. And so these days when you tell somebody, hey, how you doing? Hope you're doing great, be careful, because you might just get into trouble. Someone might just punch you in the face because it's like you're laughing at them. I mean, it's like you just want to pull their legs. You want to remind them of the suffering they are trying to endure. They are trying not to highlight. And so it's a very sad commentary, really, that a lot of people are living in borrowed times. A lot of people are living in hardship, in poverty and lack. A lot of people are living in penury. I see faces looking gloomy, looking sad, because of course they have been disappointed by the government they expected so much from. They have been betrayed by leaders who they voted, who they thought would come and fight for their rights and defend, whatever pertained to them. But unfortunately, these leaders have come, and the only thing they know is think about their pockets. I mean, we have leaders in this country for whom it is corruption, corruption, and corruption all the way. I mean, these are people who are not thinking of anything about the generality of the masses. They don't care if the masses feed or not. They don't care if the roads are good. They don't care if the potholes are causing accidents here and there. What they want is, I'm there, I'm in charge, and I have access to public money. I will steal, I will take as much as I want. Nobody can stop me. And so when a lot of people look forward to periods of elections when they get a right and the opportunity to choose leaders for themselves. I mean, a lot of people have heard people say, don't worry, you're enjoying now. Don't worry, be stealing our money. Don't worry, continue your corruption, campaign. Continue. Make all the money you're making. Buy the SUVs you're buying. Buy the private jets. Build the monumental houses here and there. Don't worry. At election time, come and take my vote again. We'll see how it goes. But unfortunately, even at election stands now, these so-called leaders, these so-called people in power, they don't care about the power of the ballot box anymore. They don't care anymore about voting, whether you vote them or not, because of course, they seem to be convinced, as soon as the election is out, we know how to get it. We'll still be there. You give me your vote, you don't give me your vote, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, And so this is what has been exemplified by the recent elections in Edo State. I mean, the election of 21st September 2024, Saturday, when the Edo State people went to vote to retain or change their governorship or their governors or their governor. There was an election for the governorship election, and equally, I think the local government elections too. Um, and the Edo State was trending over this weekend. Unfortunately, the calls I'm getting from my Edo friends, from my Edo associates, lawyers, dignitaries, lawyers, doctors, pharmacists, engineers, and my associates generally, the messages they are calling to me, it is not a palatable one. I mean, they seem to be telling me what, of course, we have all suspected with the usual trend as far as Nigeria is concerned. Yeah, we all know what Nigeria is. When Nigeria is a place where anytime you see like the proverbial elephant that is pregnant, gigantic animal, mammoth animal, massive, it's pregnant and you expect it to bring up something gigantic too. But at always time, all the time, it has disappointed its owners because every time the elephant delivers in Nigerian parlance, it delivers a rat, something not befitting of the expectations of the people. And so it is now. Edo State people have been calling. They've been reaching out to me, and they've been sending messages that touches the heart, stories that touch the heart. It's a very painful one. It's painful, it's shameful, and it's sad. I mean, here are people who were looking forward for the first time in a very long while, to stamp their leg. These are people who said, look, we're out here. We want to maintain a viable opposition. We want to have a government that is different from the center. We want to continue maintain a viable opposition in the PDP. And so when the elections were going on, people were excited because, of course, they were seeing results from the various polling units, polling centers, polling booths. They were seeing results that appeared to favor, the PDP candidate. And so everybody had taken it that it's a foregone conclusion. Yes, it's already a foregone conclusion. We've gotten it. The PDP has gotten it. Let's go and sleep. Let the vibrant opposition continue. We are tired of the APC people of this world. We are tired of the people at center. In fact, one of them told me, "Can you imagine what even the so-called Jagaban, the man who said it is his turn during the February 23 elections, the man who came up and said it is my turn, Emilio, that he called Edo people. He made a conference and he was telling the APC that, in fact, to use his words, he said President Tinubu used his position as president to ensure that Monday, Ekpebolo, becomes the next APC governor of Edo State. He said the president called, and in a highly televised broadcast that has gone viral, the president stood up and he told the generality of the APC people, he said, listen, leaders of APC, listen, my fellow compatriots. This election in Edo State is something that as the president, I can assure you will not be a wasted effort. I can assure you this time around that this election will not be wasted. I am promising you as the president and commander-in-chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I'm telling you I'm going to deliver. I'll make sure Edo State is ours. I'll make sure Edo returns to APC. I'll make sure every power that be must accept the APC. APC will reclaim Edo State. And so when the Jagaban spoke, a lot of people thought it was a joke. They thought this man didn't know what he was saying. Who was he relying on? Who was he relying on? Is he relying on Shomole? Shomole, of course, yes, he's a senator, but does that mean? Is he relying on Shomole? Shomole cannot deliver. The PDP is there, and Obaseki is our man. Who is he relying on? They underestimated what the APC could do. They underestimated what the president could do. I mean, a man who told Nigerians, it is my turn. A man who told Nigerians, I am the Jagaban. A man who told Nigerians, Emilio Khan, it is my turn, and went ahead to achieve it is my turn, despite the overwhelming evidence that the Labour Party were leading at that February 23 elections, despite the overwhelming evidence that P2P was topping the chart, despite the overwhelming evidence that the generator of Nigerians wanted a change. We were tired. People were tired of the Buhari, former President Buhari administration, and the hardship it fostered on this country. I mean, a lot of people were looking forward to a change, to a new beginning. They look forward to better things ahead. But unfortunately, of course, Miloko insisted it was his turn, and they went all out, and of course, did get his turn. Whether he got it willy, whether he got it nilly, whether he got it by crook or clean, he got it finally. He got it. And in that same spirit of getting it, in that same spirit of asserting Emilio Connes, it is my turn. He has assured the people he won them before the elections. Edo State will be APC. I promise you, as the commander-in-chief, that's what I'm going to do. I'll do it for my party. And he spoke like the King Kong of King Kong, those children cartoon way back, when the King Kong would stand and miss people is standing massive giant and blows on his people watching him. I am here. I'm the King Kong. And so that is how it is. So unfortunately, your messenger knows, Edo people are shedding tears. Edo people are unhappy. Edo people are saddened because they had actually looked forward to a different result. They had expected so much. Yes, the former governor, Godwin Obaseki may not have been particularly a favorite of everyone. But still, Edo people felt Edo should be an opposition state because they had looked forward to a new beginning. They had looked forward to a vibrant opposition. They know what the APC has been doing in the center. I mean, how Nigerians are wallowing in poverty and lack, how hunger and starvation is the order of the day. I mean, Edo State knows that the hashtag and bad governance, starvation, hardship government, did a lot. They know what happened. They know why it was stayed. They know why people protested. And they didn't see any difference if an APC governor would emerge. And painfully and unfortunately, this has become the reality to the Edo people. That yes, you cast your vote, you did everything you did, but yet your vote didn't count. Your vote didn't matter. The same people who said, oh, we're going to take it from you, the same man who had promised his people, I'm bringing APC governor to you, I will deliver APC governor to you. The Emilio Khan himself, it is my turn, has taken Edo State. This is a very sad commentary. Ladies and gentlemen, freedom lovers, it's a sad commentary, really. I mean, that Nigeria of 2024 cannot deliver a fair and fair election, says the Lord. It speaks volumes. That the election in this country with an umpire like INNEC that propagates and announces the utilization of current highly digitalized systems of beavers in elections will still fail the people. I mean, an umpire that was supposed to be unbiased, that was supposed not to have prejudice, and yet at every point in time, INNEC still fails this country because it dances to the highest bidder. It succumbs to pressure from above. INNEC has become a very reputable tool for marginalization, manipulation, and election rigging in this country. Otherwise, we have eyewitness accounts where the generator of the votes were going to PDP in Edo State. The generator of the votes were being won by the PDP candidate. But at the last minute, as if the magician all of a sudden expands his hood, the man who was hooded up like a bat covered his face with his hoods, like the bat covers his face with his wings. As soon as those wings are outstretched, the abracadabra starts. All of a sudden, numbers begin to change. All of a sudden, 20 becomes 2,000. 2,000 becomes 2 million. All of a sudden, 17 becomes 170. 170 becomes 1.7 million. That is the abracadabra of magic. That is the magic of INNEC. And so Edo people are in tears. Edo people are unhappy. And they have said, why is this happening to us? Despite the full glare of the public, despite the fact that there were observers who saw the election going, how could INEC have done this to us? It's a sad one. It's a sad one, really. One 80-year-old woman came out screaming, I left my house since morning in the sun, in the rain, without tasting food, without brushing. I didn't take my chewy stick. I didn't brush my teeth. I rushed here to cast my vote because I want, for the first time, to put a round square, a round peg in a round hole. But see what they have done to me. They have wasted the time of an 80-year-old woman, and she started running courses. To those who truncated this hope, to those who fueled this disaster in Edo State. And so, by people of Edo State, I feel for you. I know what some of you told me. You said you are kit and kin with Biafra. You said you are freedom lovers. You said Biafra plight is your plight. You said Edo and Biafra have a lot in common. But from being wonderful neighbors, some of us have been traced to Edo origins. And so I feel for you all. And so I decided to highlight the misery, the pain, the frustration, the high-handedness of INEC officials who have looked the other way while ballot boxes were being stolen, snatched and carried away. I've heard stories how armored cars, how police, how youths were thumbprinted at the homes of so-called leaders of Edo State. I don't want to mention names. All in the bid to deliver to their master at Abuja. They wanted to make sure Edo became APC at all costs, no matter whose ox is God. It's a shameful one, really, and I wish my people well. I wish the Edo people well. I want to encourage them. It's not the end of the world. Yes, the most painful part is when you are suffering injustice and the person who offends you, the person who injures you, looks at you in the face, without shame, without scruple, looks at you in the face and tells you, if you don't like it, go to court. You can imagine the heart-wrenching experience of Edo people when they are waking up to an announcement that APC won this election, and the next thing they are hearing from APC leaders is, if you don't like the result, if you think you have something better than this, if you think you can change it, if you think you don't want the APC, you don't want Senator Monday Okwebolo to become the next governor, you have a choice. Go to court. Go to court. And this is very reminiscent of the way the Jagaban, this same president today, told Peter Obi and Atiku Abubakar during the 23 elections, February 23, when he was declared the presidential winner, the candidate that won the presidential election. In that election, he looked at Nigerians in the face. He looked at Peter Obi, the Labour Party. He looked at Alhaji Abubakar, Atiku Abubakar of the PDP. He looked at them in the face and he told them, gentlemen, you either accept this election because you don't have a choice. But if you think you have a choice, you know something better, gentlemen, I challenge you, go to court. Go to court. It's a sad one. I don't know when Nigeria descended into this dungeon. When our maximum leader, NNAMDI KANU, told us and prophesied what Nigeria would become way back before this time, everybody thought he was hallucinating. Everybody thought he was dreaming. I mean, this man is definitely under an influence. I mean, how can we say that Nigeria would descend so low? I mean, to a point where our votes will not count? How can we say Nigeria would descend so low to the extent when our dollar will be almost useless? Our dollar has become that our naira would almost be so useless that the Nigerians, these ones who came here and become our boki, who were our shoe polishers, shoe shiners, who fetch water for our people, this one who are megad, whose sefer had died, cannot buy them a slippers. They are sefer. How can NNAMDI KANU say a time will come when the naira will be so low that even their boki will not touch it again? But here it is. The time has come. Here is a naira changing for almost 2,000 to a dollar. I mean, a naira that is changing far below the sefer. And yes, in the prophecy of our Muslim leader NNAMDI KANU, yes, of course, the naira can no longer attract the Nigerians, the people from Niger, the Mali people who come here and become our megats, who come here and carry our condemned, iron condemned, who come here and fetch water for us, who become our megats. They have run away because, of course, your naira can no longer be of any use to them. Your naira cannot even buy them a loaf of bread, but their sefer can. So when our Muslim leader NNAMDI KANU made these prophecies, people thought he was hallucinating. But here we are now. This is the burn of Nigeria. This is the reality in Nigeria. People are hungry. People are suffering. People have lost hope. The farmers cannot go to their farms. On a daily basis, they are being harassed. They are being deleted. They are being marginalized. They are being kidnapped by insurgents. Foods cannot move from local areas now to urban centers. There's massive starvation in the land, leading to high inflation, high cost of food. Because of the incessant increase in tariff, NEPA tariff, Nigerians cannot have light anymore. Those who can afford it, the moment you put on your light, they bring estimated bills that crumple all your economy. You're unprepared. You buy a prepaid card, before you know it, in the twinkle of an eye, it's all gone. And so what is the NEPA doing for us? What are the fuel subsidy removal that has made fuel so costly? And because it's costly, the woman selling gari, who is supposed to go to Agege and bring gari, go to Oshodi, go to Aswani market, go to Ketu Mai 12 and bring gari and tomato. She will tell you the cost is so high for her that those who were bringing a yam from Benue were complaining about the cost. And so the cost transferred to those of them who are buying it from Ketu Alakwere market, from Oyibo, from Ido, from boundary markets. People are suffering. Nobody is exempted. Nobody is exempted. The farmers are crying. The traders are crying. Nigerians cannot feed anymore. Poverty in the land, massive. And as if our so-called leaders are insulated from this poverty, from this situation. Because every other day we are hearing about them outdoing one another in buying private jets, yachts, in going overseas for holidays. We heard of some leaders recently who had their birthday in a private yacht in the Mediterranean Sea. Somebody paid money, lumps of it, trillions in dollar and pounds, to make sure only them had a beach resort. Nobody should come there, barred from strangers, only for them, for a birthday bash. And they were celebrating a birthday. Some for their children, some for the graduation of their children. You hear a governor, a senator, packing entourage from here to London, from here to the US, to Canada, to attend the graduation of their little child who was getting her first degree or his first degree. And they pack an entourage that will cost millions of naira in chartered flights. Meanwhile, the majority of the people are hungry. They are living in abject poverty and misery. They cannot afford 2 square meals, not even 3. Who is talking of 2 square meals? There's no square meal anymore. I have seen somebody who soaked gari for about 3 hours. And when the gari had become hardened, the man poured oil on it with a bit of salt and a little ground pepper. And he and his children were squeezing, they mold this gari, they throw it into their mouth, they drink water. It's not an exaggeration. I've seen this life and direct. Nigerians have never had it so poor, never had it so rough. And these are the leaders. Leaders whose money is spent in dollars. Majority of the schools in the country now are charging their fees in dollars. Of course, who can pay for these things? Only the so-called leaders, the legislator, the governor, the president, his children, his cronies, his party members, and those of them who enjoy the so-called, party patronage. How can you be paying children's school fees in dollars in a country that Naira is your means of exchange? It's an aberration, seriously. I don't know our leaders thinking. I believe people like Dr. NNAMDI Azikiwe, people like Chief Obafemi Awolowo, Herbert Macaulay, these leaders will be looking at themselves at the grave, turning their bones. Because this was the Nigeria they saw that was amalgamated in 1914, that had its independence in 1960, 1st October for that matter. And what has happened today? Today we have leaders who have nothing to offer, who have no legitimacy, who are clueless, who have no manifesto, who have no program. All they want is, it is my turn. All they want is, I am there, I want to be there. All they want is, I belong to this party. All they want is, I own the INNEC. Yes. One leader was hitting his chest and he said, he who pays the piper dictates the tune. I pay the piper, I dictate the tune. Such crass wickedness. Who did this to Nigeria? Who have we offended? And why is Nigeria so cursed? Not even one sincere, benevolent leader. Not one. Those days, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, who was premier of the Western region, he made sure that the cocoa house in Ibadan was built. He made sure cocoa was flooding the whole of Africa and the world through Nigeria. Chief Obafemi Awolowo have legacies. He established the first television station in the whole of Africa, the whole of West Africa. He brought in free education at all levels, universal free education. Some of us were beneficiaries who didn't school in the East. If we schooled in Lagos, we schooled any part in the East, your education was free. You were given free tuition. You were given notebooks and textbooks. In fact, at some point, we were given a meal each. Dr. NNAMDI Azikiwe made sure that the coal generated mainly from Enugu had a free movement down through Port Harcourt down to Lagos. Dr. NNAMDI Azikiwe built a federal university in Nigeria, in the East, which we call Nigeria, that's on Nigerian Suka. These were people who left legacies. He was editor of several news media and publications. At a point when he even had to bury his ambition, he decided, he committed class suicide. He said, no, let Tafawa Balewa, let him be a primary school teacher, let him be the prime minister while I become a ceremonial president. These were leaders who knew what they wanted. Leaders who were not interested in power for power's sake. These are leaders who made supreme sacrifices for their country. Who said, no, Tafawa Balewa, okay, come, okay, for peace to reign. Yes, we've done an accord with the Action NPU, Northern People's Congress, and the NCNC. Okay, come, let us form a government. Tafawa Balewa, I give it to you. Go, become the prime minister. Let me be a ceremonial president. How many people can do that now? He was an Igbo man. Nobody said, oh, Igbo. NNAMDI Azikiwe swallowed his ambition and paved way for a northern man to be the first prime minister of this country. NNAMDI Azikiwe had all it takes. He could have manipulated it. There's nowhere his charisma, his personality, his fame, his political sagacity could have given it to him. But he let it go. This was an Igbo man. Today they'll tell you an Igbo man he can't be trusted to be a leader. He can't be trusted. No, if you give him, you sell this country. But NNAMDI Azikiwe, of blessed memory, sacrificed his ambition, swallowed his pride. All for what? For nationalism. For nationalism, for patriotism's sake. This is the same country today where any election that happens in this country, money will be spent. The people's money will be stolen and used to manipulate elections results. INNEC, that should be an unbiased umpire, will be the very ones who would do all it takes to make sure elections are massively rigged. It's unfortunate, the kind of leaders we're having today. Look at the rise that is beyond the common man during these Edo elections, beginning from Wednesday last week, before the election. Trucks and trucks, trailer loads of rice were being pumped into Edo State. The same rice that is scarce from every other person, pumped into Edo State. And what were they doing with it? My associates, my friends are telling me, once they meet you, come, this is measure of rice, take, give it to this party, give it to this party, take, give it to this party. They use stomach infrastructure. The first bank, somebody once told me, first bank is your tummy. The first bank you bank on is your tummy. If a man has not eaten, what will he be doing? And so they always use hunger and starvation, bribery, and government magic to win elections. Oh, a Muslim leader said it. He said Nigeria is descending into a dungeon. NNAMDI KANU said it. And they grabbed him and dumped him at the dungeon of DSS. Till today, popped up charges here and there, cropped up charges. He has defended all of them and they're still not letting him go. Meanwhile, all his contemporaries from other regions, the Sunday Bohos, the Boko Haram people, the northern insurgents, the people from everywhere, including from the president's place, the Yoruba people are talking about regionalism now, fighting for their regions. None of them have been arrested. But our maximum leader, NNAMDI KANU, has been subjugated to the lowest form of human degradation, kept in, utter exclusivity. He's kept in a place where he has no associations whatever with people, all in a bid to break his spirit. It's unfortunate. But you can't kill a man and kill his dreams. And that is why before he was picked away, he had already appointed, our able Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, vigorous, highly energetic, a man of the people, a man with vision, powerful, a strategist, young and able, indefatigable. Simon Ekpa took his place, and today we can see what is happening. The Biafra dream has become a reality that will culminate in the declaration of the United States of Biafra come 2nd December 2024. My Edo people, I wish you all the best. I'm a freedom lover. I'm a humanist. Yes, I'm a humanist, and I feel for you. I mean, because late Martin Luther King, Dr. Martin Luther King, he said, injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. I feel for you. Your hopes have been dashed. People have urinated on the intelligence of Edo State, just like other states in Nigeria. These so-called powers that be, these people who have, who have turned Nigeria into their personal chessboard. People who have almost liquidated this country. They have stolen and stolen for 20 generations yet unborn, and they are still stealing. May God save us. May God help us. So, my Edo brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, I look forward very, very anxiously and with great expectations to December 2nd, 2024, when we hope, that the United States of Biafra will be created, and every freedom lover, everyone who is challenged by the dungeons that Nigeria has become, is welcome to join us. Because, of course, we know there will be zero tolerance for election malpractices. There was zero tolerance for corruption and rigging. There will be zero tolerance for leadership that is clueless, that is lackluster, that have no sensitivity about the people. I mean, we are going to, of course, experience leadership that is forthright, intentional, goal-directed, and for whom, yes, the welfare, generative welfare of the citizenry will be paramount. There will be no contest to that. Biafra is the answer. So for Edo State, I assure you, Biafra is welcoming. Biafra is there. We are one spirit. We are one body. We are one family. Sorry, Edo State, but you're welcome. Welcome to the United States of Biafra. Pray for us. Warm up with us. Put your hands with us. Join us in your prayers. Join us in everything you can do. Encourage us. Let us achieve. The United States of Biafra comes 2nd December 2024. And I guarantee you election results such as this, these woeful results, these manipulations, this thumping of chest by people who have nothing to do with leadership. Former head of state, General Olusegun Obasanjo, once said that the people, these leaders we see today, they should have been in jail. Or if there's a worse sentence, give it to them. These are people who have nothing that's exceptional about them. These people are not leadership materials. What we have are crooks, manipulators, and election riggers. May God, in His infinite mercy, make the United States of Biafra possible and achievable, so that we can create and promote a conducive environment where human beings can aspire, where human beings can have goals and objectives that will be met and achieved. We're looking forward to 2nd December 2024, when Simon Ekpa, in his braveness, in his courageous life, in his charisma, and his eloquence and vivacity, would pronounce the United States of Biafra as a legitimate and sovereign nation. God bless the people of Edo State. God bless all freedom lovers. God bless the United States of Biafra. Let's work together. All hands on deck to make a 2nd December 2024 a reality. God bless you all. Look forward to hearing from you again. Have a great day. Cheers. Bye.
Yeah, check me out. Superstars Media. Lord Lugard, Bloomington, Lord Lugard, and it's why Flora show 1914 amalgamation is what we dying for. 3 nations to 1 nation, ever since annihilation. Nepotism is nonsense. You and you, clap your hands. Biafra gonna come, clap your hands. Biafra, Oduduwa, we're free now. Freedom is gonna come, we're free now. Yeah.